Welcome to Accelerate My Practice. So glad you could join me here today. Today I want to talk about how do you create something that becomes viral, blows up, and just goes bananas. And the obvious example here is Pokemon Go. It's interesting to see how this has taken off. I didn't play it the first time it came around, but chatting with someone on my team, apparently they did. And back then it was sort of a card game thing. I'll be honest with you. Not super familiar, never played Pokemon previously. Still really haven't. But interesting to see how it's become something that's huge and gone over the top. As of last week, so July 6th is when this launched. So about a week, 8-9 days in, there have been 15 million downloads. And at that point, if someone were to go buy the app, it was valued at $3 billion, with a B, billion dollars. Now, how in the world do you do this? How do you get people that are so banana crazy about it that they do crazy things like jump over people's fences, going to look for a Pikachu in your backyard? And if you think I'm kidding about that, watch this video and we'll come back and we'll chat about it some more.
Yo, look at this right now. I'm not even lying. There's a guy playing Pokemon Go in my backyard. Yo! Yo!
Get him, Shane! Get him!
What are you... Why?
The hotspot over here. I'm sorry.
Yes, people will jump over your fence in your backyard to go shoot a Pikachu. Whatever, a Pikachu or Pikachus. Which one do you think it is? It's kind of interesting. So, it brings up to me a book I read some time ago called The Tipping Point. If you haven't read it, it's a wonderful, wonderful book by Malcolm Gladwell. And he talks about how do you get something to tip to where it becomes massive, to where it just blows up. And what lessons can we learn out of this for our dental office? So I want to use the combination of The Tipping Point and Pokemon Go as a metaphor for how can you make your office go big. So what's interesting, first off, if you look at Pokemon, the old version, whatever that was about 10, 15 years ago, it was something that you could play, but you weren't really immersed in it and you weren't part of the game. Now what you can do is you can set yourself up as a hotspot in your dental office for it, download the app and set it up to where people can come and they can go shoot Pikachu in your waiting room. I'm not sure if you'd want to do that or not. You may or may not. But you could make your actual office part of the game. So, in The Tipping Point, Gladwell talks about how do you get something to tip to where it goes big. And one of the things he talks about is stickiness. How do you make it stick? And if you have a game like the card game Pokemon, is it interesting? Sure, some people play it, but the attention span is, if you've been watching the show for a while, about 8-10 weeks ago we shot a show and the average attention span of a human these days is about 6 seconds. The average attention span of a fish is 8. So, little challenging. So now a card game, as it were, the old version of it, isn't going to hold people's attention as well. But now all of a sudden you put it on a phone and I can walk around and I'm part of the game and I'm playing this virtual thing and I can see other people walking down the street playing and we're all chasing the same Pikachu and trying to shoot the same Pikachu. It's incredible to see how that drives that level of engagement higher. So relative to your office, how can you create that level of engagement? And if you do, what's it worth to you? Because in this case, it was worth 15 million downloads in a matter of 7 to 10 days and $3 billion of revenue if you were to go buy this app. It's incredible. And then you start looking at the time spent on it. And I'm not sure where they get this data. I'm sure through the apps they can. But according to this research we did, Pokemon Go was on average being spent 33 minutes in the US playing Pokemon Go, whoever their users were. Facebook is getting 28 minutes, Snapchat 18 minutes. And if you think this is all just 14-year-old kids running around playing Pokemon Go, I want to open your eyes a little bit here as well. The biggest section, and this probably won't surprise you, 58% of the people who are out playing Pokemon Go are ages 18 to 24. 33% are age 25 to 34. Now, I didn't see if there were any 60-plus-year-olds. I'm going to guess it's a smaller percentage. There is a group of them, though, but it's somewhere in the 5% range, so it's not huge. But believe it or not, there are 5% of elderly people walking around with their walker and their iPhone playing Pokemon Go and having to put the walker down so you can shoot Pikachu before it runs off. That is stickiness. That is something where you've driven such a level of engagement out of the people in this business that they just can't put it down. It's like an addiction. Now, the question becomes, how long will it last, or is this just a short-term fad? I don't know if it matters. I mean, if Pokemon's smart, they sell this thing tomorrow to Nintendo, which, by the way, is worth $39 billion. So Pokemon Go in 2 weeks is worth 10% of Nintendo. Insane. So if they're smart, if they're really, really smart, they sell it. But obviously that's maybe not an option for your dental office. So again, how can we drive engagement into our practice that our patients feel like they're part of it? And, we've talked a lot about social media and how do we get our patients engaged there. And one of the challenges that I've often put up relative to Facebook anyway is that, we'll have a patient in the practice and we'll take their picture and we'll put it up on Facebook. And that's fine and dandy. But who sees it if I put it up on my Facebook? And the answer is only my friends. Now, if you put it up on my Facebook, your friends and my friends see it. Now, if one of your friends comments about your beautiful smile or the silly picture that we took in the dental office with you, now your friends see it, your friends, my friends, it just blows up. So the challenge becomes, I continuously see a lot of people utilizing Facebook where they're posting their own pictures of stuff in the office, which is fine and dandy. But the network with which it's hitting is a fraction of the size. So the key becomes, how can we either post it ourselves and get a patient to tag themselves, or even better, get a patient to put it up themselves on our Facebook while we're there in the office, because the minute they leave, are they going to do it? Hard to say, maybe, maybe not. I mean, are they going to stop while they're at a stoplight and do it? I think probably not. I mean, how often do we ask patients to write reviews, and if they don't do it right there on the spot, it doesn't happen? How many of you guys have I asked to write a review for us on Facebook or on Google Plus, on our Google My Business page? And some of you have, and thank you very much for those that you have. I appreciate it. And those of you who wrote bad stuff about us, it's okay. We took those off. Totally kidding. You can't actually. So, the challenge is attention span. You've got 6 seconds to get somebody to do something. So how do you drive that level of engagement in the office with the patient? How do you make it something that's fun to where they do it? Do you use Pokemon as an example of that? Do you make your office a hot spot? It's up to you. You could. And you might have some new people wandering past your practice, coming in to saying hi, and maybe you run a little contest if they come in to say hi and they shoot a Pikachu in your waiting room. You give them a free toothbrush with a Pokemon logo on it and your name and number, and maybe they call you back and schedule an appointment. It's really, really hard to say. And it also becomes a question of what is the demographic you're trying to hit. Because if you look at this, you're looking at 85-90% of the people who are playing Pokemon are under the age of 34. So do you want to attract that age group of patients? Is that the demographic you're after? And if it's not, maybe not the right thing to do. But if it is, great thing to bring in some new young families, because 34 and under probably have some kids. So if you're a pediatric office, this might be a fabulous, fabulous thing to do. And it might also become something to where now you don't need to have the Nintendo in the corner. The kids can run around out in the parking lot, dodging traffic, playing Pokemon Go. Be careful with the traffic thing, because you don't want your kids to become speed bumps. It's probably a bad thing. So how can we drive engagement out of our patients to where they become a part of this? Can we have them participate in our practice? Can we have them vote? Let's say we're getting ready to repaint the office. Let's have the patients pick the color. Let's say we're getting ready to do some fun thing. The doctor's maybe getting ready to do St. Baldrick's Foundation, where you shave your head and donate your hair. So you've got a female doctor in your office and you want to donate your hair, and we run a raffle to see who can pledge the most for the donation for this. Things like that drive engagement with your patients, drive a conversation through social media, through bringing them into the office are a lot of fun things you can do. Maybe it's something like an appreciation day, before the summer or fall starts, where the patients come on by and you do a live feed with a local news station or radio station, and you have them come out. They all have to do PSAs. If you're not aware of that, every radio station and TV station has to do so much PSA dedicated or dictated by law, where they have to do so much educational content that's free of charge. So fabulous. You do a fun house at your office parking lot on a Saturday. Doctor and the team are out barbecuing for all the patients. Come on by, have a free hot dog on doctor, bounce in the bounce house. And you have a radio station come out and talk about the importance of oral health, which satisfies their PSA requirements and gets them broadcasting your office and having fun. And people can come on by and play Pokemon Go in the parking lot while you do it. Can you imagine the crowd you might drive if you were to set all this up in the next 2-3 weeks while Pokemon Go is hot? It could be mind-blowing. Now imagine for a second you're an ortho office that has younger patients or a pediatric practice. This could be huge. Then you put the doctor in a dunk tank and you pretty yourself up real nice, and then all of a sudden you just challenge the patients and the kids to dunk you and mess it all up. Then go pretty yourself up again and come back out and, and I know I'm being very stereotypical just to be silly, but I'm trying to make something fun of this, because if we take this stuff seriously, it doesn't work. That's the problem with some people, relative to some of this, is they make it serious. And when it comes to social media or Pokemon Go, if you make it serious, it won't be something that'll become engaging, because now it feels like work. And you won't enjoy it because it'll feel like work. I think of some other examples of this. And we ran a contest 1.5 years ago on make a fun video for your office. And we used the Wentzville Dental group as an example. And at that point, they had 10,000 views on their dental office video, something ridiculous. And it went totally viral for them. I can only imagine how many new patients they had come in. We had a practice that did the same thing, and in Idaho, they were our contest winner. They made a fabulous, fabulous video, Northwest Dental Center if you want to look at it. And they had in a week 1,500 views on their video. They're now 3,000 to 4,000 views over time. And that particular month that they did it, their new patient flow went from 20 new patients to over 40 new patients. And what it cost them? A couple hours and a little bit of video editing and a couple iPhones and a GoPro. It's easy stuff to do. And if you were to talk to the office that did it, they had a blast. Watch the video. They had a blast doing it. So the key becomes, how can you and your team have fun and make your fun become viral in your office? First and foremost, if you can't make fun something that's viral for you and for your team, we have a problem. And then secondly, if we can expand the viral nature of that beyond your team to your patients, you'll be onto something and it'll be incredible. There's no doubt in my mind. Some fool went and made a Pokemon app. I can't talk because it all rhymes. They went and made a little app. They had a little bit of fun. They were probably smoking too much weed because they're, based out of Colorado for all I know. I'm not sure. Smoking a bunch of weed going, hey, let's make this Pokemon thing. We'll shoot Pikachu with our iPhones. In fact, my iPhone can shoot Pokemon or Pikachu far better than your Android can, because Androids miss. I don't know. I'm being silly. But if you have fun with it, it's amazing to see what can happen. And that fun becomes infectious or viral. And it makes a huge, huge difference. And I think if you keep doing that, you'll see that your office can become sticky, per Malcolm Gladwell, and things will happen and take off. And it'll be a wonderful, wonderful experience for everybody involved, and everybody will love it. So that being said, I think I'm going to sign off at this point, and I'm getting really tired of this little Pikachu over here, so I want to shoot the little booger. Blast his little butt. In fact, there's no one over there. Yeah, it's fun stuff. You just got to pull out a gun and go shooting. It's a good time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show. Make social media, make your office sticky in terms of having fun, and I think what you'll see is amazing transformation in your practice. So glad you joined us today. Can't wait to see you next week, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful day. What if you could have the practice of your dreams?
What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.